This is Majinoni, and I got some reviews for you today. We have Thunderbolts 171, Wolverine 303, Iron Man 514, and Amazing Spider-Man 682, Ends of the Earth. Let's do Spider-Man first. I really enjoyed this issue a lot. I think that this is, the way they're building this is a really big, strong story. You have Doc Ock, who's basically sick and dying, and he has these little devices all spread around the Earth, and he's saying, well, I can cure the Earth, but I need you, the global warming thing, if you do something for me, and he's up to some bad mojo. Now, it's pretty much, along the way you see people who are going, I think Doc Ock is a straight-up dude, and you have other people who are a little bit more skeptical. Of course, Peter Parker is one of those that are very skeptical about what's going on. At the beginning, there's some really good parts here. They're showing off what Peter's tech has done for people, and in this case, his tech actually did something bad, because he had this freeze foam thing, and some of it got on a fireman. And when they tried to pull the guy away from it, it snapped off his leg, or part of his foot, I should say. But with another tech device that he made, it basically was like a cold storage box that allowed the foot to be transported back safely. So, and then on his walk to Horizon Labs, they talk about other things he's done. So I think this part was a really nice touch to show that, he's actually doing some sort of contribution in it, and they're doing it in such a way where it doesn't impact the Marvel Universe. Meaning you add an extra layer of protection for a motorcycle helmet, but does that really out of balance things for other people along the way? No, it doesn't. So that part was that part was a nice touch. The art is really strong. Along the way, you also have J. Jonah Jameson all pissed off at Horizon Labs, and he wants to shut it down. And, I understand his anger, but at the same time, Horizon Labs must be bringing the city of New York a ton of cash. So he's not thinking clearly. But, when has J. Jonah Jameson ever thought clearly? Overall, though, fantastic. My only weird thing about this book is when I saw this panel here, I don't know about you, I thought Tentacruel in the ocean. That's what I thought, but that's very minor, and it's not even a slight or anything like that. But overall, off to a great start, and I'm really enjoying the start of this a lot more than the Spider Island storyline. So I look forward to good things. Okay, Iron Man 514. What we have going on here is the Mandarin is putting out his fiendish plan. You have the government coming down on Tony and basically saying, we're going to shut down everything and take everything away from you, to the point where you can't even get a driver's license if you don't wear this device. And basically what this device does is it shuts down his armor. If the government decides that, hey, your alcohol level isn't good, they can turn it off. Now, of course, that's not what it's going to be used for. I mean, anybody who has read anything about comics knows that. So, it doesn't take long for this to happen. And it happens at a very inappropriate moment. My thing, though, is that, and now, granted, I don't understand what the Mandarin's fiendish plan is, but he played that card too soon. If I was the Mandarin, I would have used it right in the middle of battle, and I would have killed Tony. Just like that. But, I'm not the Mandarin. Go figure. What we have also is a spoofed up new version of Whirlwind and Melter. I like the redesign of Whirlwind a lot. And the reason why I like it is because I think he looks kind of corny with the green and then his helmet, and it just looks really bad. It looks very 80s. So I like the way he looks now. He looks a lot more advanced, more techish. But I just have this feeling that once you look at, if they bring them out, I mean, the Whirlwind back, maybe in Avengers, he's going to be right back to what he used to be. And it's not even going to be a hesitation for that to happen. Melter's the same way. They basically teched him up a little bit, but he doesn't even have special costumes or anything like that. So I thought it's an interesting approach. While I'm enjoying the story, the one thing I can't help but feel is this. This is basically a modern-day retelling of A Demon in the Bottle. It's Tony with his alcohol, and from there, they're taking it just a step further. And I don't know if this is a bad or a good thing yet. I mean, part of me is going, well, it's a recycled story that was really popular, but at least what they're doing is they're taking it to a slightly new direction. Slightly. Because keep in mind, around the Demon in the Bottle storyline, you also still had Wizard and Blizzard and, not Wizard, but Whirlwind, I mean not Whirlwind, Whiplash, Blizzard and Melter and all those guys. So you still had that going on. This club here looks to be a little bit bigger, though. Trying to think of anything else about this. I think for right now, while I'm enjoying it, I'm going to let this story finish before I get my final true that I really, really enjoyed. Because I'm hoping that there's going to be a few more surprises along the way, and once I see those surprises, then I can tell how much more they decided to improve on the original story. Already, though, I think it's a good modern-day telling of it, but I just wish they wouldn't go to the well as often as they do. And by that I mean just in comic writers in general. They always like to revisit old stories and that were popular, and then they redo it. But we'll see. Okay, Wolverine 303. This, to me, was a mess. And it was a mess in more ways than one. Mess number one was this. Okay, you have 4 different writers. I'm sorry, not writers, artists. And when you have... Wait, 3 artists. Gosh, I keep saying writers. You have 3 different artists. And when you have 3 different artists, the look and feel of the book changes. It goes from cool art, good battling, to not so good art. And then it goes back to, well, this is pretty good again. And it goes back to, crappy art again. And it's this type of inconsistency that, for me at least, it breaks the fake realism of the book. It'd be like, for an example, watching a TV program, and you get different people stepping in and changing the sets and changing the way maybe somebody has a red shirt on one day, the next minute it's slightly off color. It's very distracting, and I don't really. It doesn't matter how many guest stars you put in. You can put Sabretooth, you can put in Mystique, heck, you can put down Godzilla in Japan, because that would seem to be appropriate for me. But it's still not doing it for me. It's just, this story is just weak. And I think the other layer thing that's really annoying me the most is Silver Samurai. That armor design is god-awful. This is the type of person that has never watched an anime before, doesn't understand what cool-looking bio armor or anything like that looks like. Heck, Liefeld at least got the idea looking better because he at least copied Gundam, and that's at least more of a robot-looking thing. On top of that, he just doesn't. Now, I'm not even going to attack his character weaknesses just because of the fact it's a new character, and I think he should be different from the older Silver Samurai. He is younger, and he does need to mature into something better. But honestly, with that armor design, he's a laughing stock. It's a bad design. It looks like a bad Halo rejected armor, and it just drives me insane. Japan's more it's supposed to be this land of high-techness, and all it looks like is somebody didn't bother to do their research and give me a good job in terms of tech. Now, on the second problem that I have on this is, just because this book takes place in Japan and there's ninjas in it doesn't make this a good ninja book. Because let me tell you something. I've seen good ninja movies, and I've seen bad ninja movies. Now, just because you put a ninja in there doesn't make it good. For an example, a classic very classic ninja movie or TV series was Kage no Gundam, The Shadow Wars, which is available on DVD, and it starred Sonny Chiba. Fantastic ninjas slashing up people, battling through evil governors and not renegades, but people trying to stir up trouble, just slashing things along the way, killing and maiming, and then drama involved and people dying. Fantastic. Then there's Ninja Assassin, one of the most worthless pieces of trash I've ever seen in my life. That should be, and a ninja should be embarrassed for that movie. And this to me is like a Ninja Assassin versus a Frank Miller Ninja Wolverine book. Aaron attempted to do the Frank Miller Ninja movie comic by throwing in 1,000 different ninjas in an airplane, but he failed to realize it's an airplane. And inside an airplane, you can't be breaking glass. You can't be there's no room for combat. It's the little things that just make me just want to just make my head explode, because it's an insult. This is obviously somebody who's trying to have some fun with things and didn't fully comprehend how to do it properly, and we end up with trashy, stupid stories. Which is a shame, because I really like Aaron's writing. Next up is Thunderbolts 171. Somebody has a really perverted fetish. Very perverted. And they want to get this thing out in a weird kind of way. What we have here is a story about Songbird. She's on vacation. This is not for the faint of heart. I gotta tell you this. It is not. She's on vacation. She's in a tropical resort area. She meets a guy. She falls in love with this guy because, he's got a superhero-like body and he seems to be normal. They go to an island. And she gets kidnapped by this man who basically is in love with Songbird, and he wants to do very naughty things with her. He tampers with her brain a little bit, and he actually restores her powers to what they used to be like. And this is the guy who did worked with Tiger Shark, and he was presumed dead. Now, this guy has got some issues here. Now, I'm going to show you a scene. If looking at perverted sex fetishes with strange fish claw spiky headed thing might offend you, be warned. Now's your chance just to skip forward, because what you're going to see could potentially haunt you for the rest of your life. And let me explain something to you. This is going to be a 1-2 punch, because when you see the one thing, and then you're going to go, holy shit, that's nasty. I'm going to show you a second page. And then what I want you to do is just imagine what's going to happen. And then when you get that mental image in your head, you will say, Jesus Christ, I cannot believe you did this to me. That's what's going to happen. Alright. It's right here. He is sucking on her toes. She wakes up, looks down, and he's sucking her toes lovingly. And on top of that, you can see this slimy substance on her feet. I'd be crying too if I was her, waking up to that. Now, you have that issue going on. Then, this creature thing one of her original powers, I guess, was some sort of limited mind control, and she gets him to free her just in time because the doctor comes back in a towel. Now, what you need to do is look at this guy. He's got these little tiny starfish-like tentacles all along underneath his arm and on the side. Now, if you remember, well, maybe you don't remember, he goes away with the two hot girls. He comes back. Okay. Do you see what's on the towel? I don't know. I can't say anymore. I just can't.